Hello everyone and welcome to this special video wherein we are going to do something different. Now all of us get into some amount of trouble rather when it comes to solving problems. We always think that if there is more data available then we might be able to solve it, or if there are more things available, if there is a way to solve a particular question, we'll be better off. But most of the times there isn't one way to solve a particular question. You have to be good at solving problems, you have to be good at understanding what it means to solve a particular question, and these kind of exercises will help you do that. Now this is a very interesting kind of a Sudoku wherein there are no numbers, but there are a couple of rules that will help us understand how to solve this particular puzzle. So let's jump right into it. The link to this puzzle is there in the description box below. So what you can do is you can try it out on your own, pause this video, have a look at the answer once you are done with the solution, and let me know in the comment section how much time did you take to solve this particular puzzle. So there are a couple of rules that we have here. I'll just start the puzzle so that I can show it to you on screen what exactly do these rules mean. So if you look on the right, there are a couple of these rules that have been mentioned. It says that blue squares are box indexing. So of course, first thing is normal Sudoku rules apply, which means that every row will have the digits 1 till 9. Every column, this column will have digits 1 till 9. And if you look at in a box, all these cells will also be numbered 1 till 9. So normal Sudoku rules will apply. We have also been told that blue squares are box indexing. So you can see this nice square here. It does not look white, right? It has been shaded. So this is a blue square. It indicates box indexing. Now, what is the position of numbers in a box? So if I just were to show you what happens, these are the positions of the box. So if I tell you that you have to look at box numbered 3, so whichever box has the number 3 written in it, that is basically what you have to look at in this particular grade. So this is box numbered 3, right? Position B of a box means position 3 of a box. Let's say, for example, there is a number 6 in this particular box. Let's say this number is 6. Now, because this number is 6, what you are saying? You are saying that box number 3 has 6. Now, what will happen if this is a blue box? You will also know that box number 6 will have a 3. If box number 3 has a 6, then box number 6 will have a 3. That is what this means, right? So this is the blue square rule that we have. If there is a digit A at position B, it implies that there will be a digit B at position A in that box. And we are talking only about blue squares here. We are not talking about all the other squares. They may or may not have that rule, but blue squares will definitely have this rule in place. The second thing that we know here is black dots indicate digits in a 1:2 ratio, which means that if there is a black dot, so let's say these two squares we have, if there is a black dot here, let's say for example there is this digit 3 here that is present, then what will happen to this square? This square will have to be a 6, because 3 and some other number have to be in the ratio of 1:2. Now 3 can't be the number that is 2 parts, which basically means that 3 is the number that is 1 part, which means the other square will be 6. Now of course you will be able to see that 3 will not fit here, purely because this box has to have a number which is in the ratio of 1:2 with the box on its left, and it also has to have a number that is in the ratio of 1:2 with the box on its right. Now what exactly can happen here? So if you look at it and if we start solving this particular puzzle, we will see that there are a few things that we can have a look at. We can assume once we are starting this puzzle. So I'll just reset the timer and we will start this puzzle from scratch. Now just understand this, what all things can happen in this box. Now if there is a number 1, let's say in this box, then what will happen? This number will have to be 2, because 1:2 has to be there, but then this number also becomes 2. And that is why this box cannot have 1 in it. Now, the beauty of this puzzle is as we start solving this puzzle, the fog will be revealed. So it's called blueberry crop in the fog. And as soon as you enter the first digit correctly, you will see the next digit appear, or no, the other cells appear, and you will get further clues. So this is kind of an investigative affair. So let's look at this. So 1 cannot be possible, as we saw. Is 2 going to be possible? Yes. If 2 is present here, then 2 will be in the, or 2 and 1 will be in the ratio of 1:2, and 2 and 4 will also be in the ratio of 1:2. But what does it mean to have a 2 here? If there is a 2 present here, this cell can either be a 1 or a 4, and this cell can also be a 1 or a 4. There is no other way in which I can fill these two cells. But if I put a 2 here and it is a blue box, what will we see? If the 8th box, if the box at position 8 has a 2, then the box at position 2 will have an 8. That is what has been told to us. Till now, nothing is getting conflicted, so we are fine here. What else is possible here? So let's just keep this 2 in mind and look at something else. What else is possible? So if 2 is not there, I cannot put a 3, as I said, because if I put a 3, I will have to have 6 in both the adjoining boxes, which does not help. What if there is a 4 here? 4 is also going to be possible. If 4 is present, then one of the boxes will have to be 2 and the other box will have to be 8. Now what does that tell us? Box number 8 has the digit 4. So box number 4 will have the digit 8. But now there's going to be a conflict because one of the boxes adjacent to 4 has to be 8. So this cannot work. And you will see that 4 will also not be possible here. What about 5? Definitely not possible. 6, 3 and 6 are the only 2 numbers that are in the ratio of 1:2, but we have 3 numbers here. What about 7? Again not possible. 8, you cannot have 4 and 16. So you will see that there is only one number that is going to be possible in this box, and that number has to be 2. Now because 2 is right, the entire grid that is adjacent to 2 has been revealed. Now if this is 2, we have seen that these numbers will be 1 and 4 in some order. We will explore that a bit later, but for now we know that the 2 neighbors are going to be 1 and 4. We also know that the box number 8 in this particular square is filled by 2. So box number 2 will be filled by 8. That is what we know here, right? Also we have uncovered this blue box here. So box number 3 will have some number, right? And the number 3 will be present in some other box. So let's see what all things are possible here. Now 1 cannot be present in this box that I have highlighted purely because 1 is present in one of these 2 boxes. 2 also can't be present. What if 3 is present here? If box number 3 has 3, it's fine, agree. But then what will happen? You will have this neighbor of 3 to be either 2 or 4, but 2 and 4 are present here in this row. So 3 cannot be present here. What about 4? Again cannot be present because it is already present in row number 3. What about 5? There is a possibility. If 5 is present, then 5's neighbor has to be 6. That is what we know. What else do we know here? If box number 3 has 5 in it, then box number 5 will have 3 in it. That is what we know here. So 5, 3, 6 will form this triplet. Again, nothing is getting impacted. So 5 could be present in this particular box. So let's see what else can we do here. 5 can be present here is what we have seen. What if 6 is present? If 6 is present here, if box number 3 has 6, then box number 6 will have 3. But then you don't really have consecutive numbers that are separated by this white dot. So 6 also can't be present. What if 7 is present here? If 7 is present, then box number 3 has 7. Box number 7 has to have 3. But that is not going to happen here. So 7 also can't be present, 8 can't be present, and 9 also can't be present because box number 3 cannot have 9 because box number 9 cannot have 3. And that is why there is only one number that exists here, which is 5. So we had got it right. And 5's neighbor can only be 6 because 4 will be present in the bottom row. We also know that box number 3 has 5 in it. So box number 5 will have a 3 in it. That basically tells us that we have 2 cells left and 2 numbers 7 and 9 that are left in this particular box. Now let's move on to the uncovered grid. So we again have a situation here wherein these 2 numbers are in the ratio of 1:2. Now we already have 1, 4, 2 in this row. So this number can be 3, but if this is 3, this becomes 6. So this cannot be 3. What if this is 5? Not possible. 5 and 10 we can't have. What if this is 6? 6 and 3, again not possible. 7 and some number can't be in the ratio of 1:2. So this number has to be equal to 8. If this is 8, this has to be equal to 4. And now we have uncovered a lot of stuff. Now we know that this is box number 8. So box number 8 will have a number in it. And we also know that in that particular numbered box, we will have 8. 8 is present in box number 7. So 7 will be present in box number 8. Who is the neighbor of 7 that can be present here? It has to be equal to 6. Who can be the neighbor of 6 who can be present in this particular row? It has to be equal to 5. So we have filled quite a bit of this, and then we will see what exactly happens here. Again, we have this situation here wherein we have filled 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this box can either be 3 or 9, but if this is a 9, it's going to be a problem because we will have to have a 4.5 or 18, which is not possible. So we know that this number has to be 3, which means this has to be a 9, which means this has to be a 6. We also know that if the second box has 6 in it, the sixth box will have a 2 in it. So that is what we have here. So fairly straightforward when we are solving this particular bit. What else can we see here? We can see here that in this particular box, we have this 5 that is present here. The 7th box has 5. If the 7th box has 5, the 5th box will have a 7 here. Now because this 7 is present here, this has to be a 9, it can't have a 7, and because that one was a 9, this one has to be a 7. So we have filled a significant amount here, more or less we are done with the first 3 boxes. Of course there is a lot of stuff to be done, but for now we are fine. What else do we have here? We have these 2 digits in the ratio of 1:2, right? So what all things can be present here? Now this digit where I am at this point in time cannot be a 1, because if this is 1, this has to be a 2. This cannot be 2. This cannot be 3 as well, because 3:6 will basically be 1:2, but 6 is already present here. Can this be a 4? Yes, this could be a 4. If this is a 4, then this has to be an 8. That is what we will have here. And again, the box bit will be helpful here, because if you look at this, this is the 8th cell in this particular box. So if the 8th cell has an 8 in it, then it is fine. It's not a problem at all. What if this is 5? Not possible. What if this is a 6? Again, not possible. What if this is a 7? Not possible. What if this box has an 8? If this box has an 8, then this box will have a 4 in it. And that's why we have this mandatory 4-8 pair here that is going to be present in these 2 boxes. Now if this box is a 4, let's say, then what can be the neighbors of 4 that can be present in this box? Either 3 or 5, but 3 is already present in this column, so this has to be a 5 if that box is a 4. What if this box is an 8? If this is an 8, this has to be 9. It can't be 7, because 7 is already present in this particular column. So now we will have to figure out how exactly to break free out of this. So think about it. If this box has a 4 in it, right? If box number 8 has a 4, then box number 4 has to have an 8. But if this box has a 4, then this has to be an 8. So that is a paradox, which means that this has to be an 8, this has to be a 4. If box number 8 has the digit 8, fair enough, then box number 8 will also have the digit 8, which is basically the same sentence. Now because this is 8, this has to be 9. 9's neighbor has to be 8. 10 is not present in Sudoku. So we have 8 and 9 that we have put here. We also know that box number 1 in this particular square, in the bottom right square, has an 8. So box number 8 has to have a 1 here. 1 and something are in the ratio of 1:2. This has to be the number 2 that we have. So this is what we get here till now. What else can we see? Now if you look at this particular bit, this box can either be a 3, but if that is a 3, then the adjacent box becomes a 6. 6 is already there in that column, so 3 cannot be present. What if this is a 4? This could be a 4. In that case, this will become an 8. Fair enough, not a problem. This can't be 5. What if this is a 6? This could be a 6, let's say. Then this becomes a 3. Fine. This can't be 7, 8 or 9. So this box, the box that I have highlighted, can either be only a 4 or a 6, and this box will then be a 3 or an 8. If this box is 3, then of course the neighbor of 3 can't be 2. It has to be 4 here. And if this box is 8, this could either be a 7 or a 9. We don't really know what exactly is happening here. But we know that this is a blue box that we have here. Right? If this is a blue box, then what exactly can we do about that? So that is one part that we are looking at. Is there something else that we can look at? So we can just explore a bit more and see what else we have left here. And mind you, I am also seeing this for the first time. So there are a few things that even I might not know about this. Right? So let's see what else can we do here. Let's look at this. If this box is 9, filled by 9, fair enough. 9th cell has the digit 9, makes sense. What if this has the digit 4? If 9th cell has the digit 4, 4th cell will have the digit 9, which is fine. I don't think that is going to be a problem. What if this is a 7? If this is a 7, 7th box has digit 9. 9th box has digit 7, 7th box will have digit 9, even then it's not going to be a problem. So this is fine, this is not an issue at all. So 3 and 8, 4 and 6 are what we have here. I don't think we'll be having anything else here to do with this. What else can we do here? Let's look at these 2 boxes that we have. Now these 2 boxes again have to be in the ratio of 1:2. Again, we don't really have a blue box per se, so again we can't do much about this. So let's look at the Sudoku part now. If you look at this column, we already have 6 digits that we have. So 1, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9 is what we have. So 2, 4, 5 are the only digits that are left. Now because 2 and 4 are present here, this has to be a 5. And because 2 and 4 will be left, this has to be a 4, which means this has to be a 6, which means this has to be a 3, which means this has to be a 4. If the 9th block has 4 in it, then the 4th block will have a 9 in it. So that is what we have done. This has to be an 8. 6th block has 8. 8th block has a 6. That is what we have here. So again, we have uncovered a few things here that we were not getting earlier. So let's see where we go from here. What else do we see here? So again, we are seeing this box wherein box number 2 has something. So what all things can this have? If you look at it can have the digit 1, let's say. So if this digit is 1, box number 2 has 1, then box number 1 will have a 2, which is fine, not a problem. This can't be a 2 because it's in the same column. 3 is not possible. What if this is 4? If box number 2 has the digit 4, then box number 4 will have the digit 2, which is fine, not a problem. If box number 2 has digit 5, then box number 5 will have digit 2, which will conflict with this column because 2 is already there in this column. So this can't be 5. It can't be 6. Can it be 7? If box number 2 has 7, then box number 7 will have a 2, which is not possible because 2 is already there in that particular row. So this one has to be either a 1 or a 4, which basically means that if this box is 1, if box number 2 has 1, then if box number 2 is 1, then box number 1 will be 2. And if box number 4 is 1, box number 2 is 4 rather, then box number 4 will also be a 2. So 2 has to be in one of these two cells. That is what we know. But again, we can't do much about this. So let's not get into it for the time being. Let's look at something else. Let's see. Again, we can see here that we have a row wherein there are 5 numbers available. So I might be tempted to look at the Sudoku logic here. So 1, 2, 5 and 7 are the ones that are left. I can see a 1 and a 2 here. Makes sense. Here we have a 2, we have a 7 here, we have a 7 here. So again, I don't think we can do much here. What about this box? I have 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So I have a 3, 5 and a 7 that I need to put here. So I know that 3, 5, 7 are going to be present here. Of course, 3 is not going to be present here because 3 is already there in that row. Now, if you look at this particular column here, I know that 2, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 and 9 are present. So I am left with 1, 6 and 8 in this particular bit. Now this box already, or this square already has a 6 and an 8. So this has to be a 1. 6 and 8 are left. This has to be an 8. This has to be a 6. Now if you look at these three, I am left with 1, 2 and 4. If I am left with 1, 2 and 4, 1 and 4 are already present. So this will be a 2. I am left with a 1 and a 4. 1 has to be here, 4 has to be here, following Sudoku rules. I am left with these two blocks now in this particular row, and there is only a 2 and a 5 that I need to put here. So I'll just put a 2 and a 5 here. And what about this block? Again, I'll write down the numbers and keep just for the sake of referencing to them. So I am left with a 1, I am left with a 3, and I am left with a 9. 1, 3, 9 are the numbers that we are left with. Of course, 3 can't be present here and 9 cannot be present here. But otherwise, we don't really know much. What about these three blocks? Of course, we'll not be able to resolve, but let's write down the numbers and keep them ready. So we are left with a 3, 7 and 9 that can be present in these three boxes. Right? Now, let's see what can we do about this one, because that is one clue that we have. Or we will look at some other block and we will see if some Sudoku logic works there or not. So what do we have here? We have a lot of things that can be possible. So I don't think that will be a good idea for us to look at this. What about this one? We had seen that we are left with 1, 2, 5 and 7. So 7 is already present here. So we are left with 1, 2 and 5 in this particular block. And because 7 is present here, we are left with a 1, 2 and a 5 here. And here we are left with a 1, 5 and a 7. So this is basically what it looks like. We know that one of these two has to be a 2 because of the presence of 1 and 4 here. So one of these two has to be a 2. Now let's look at some paradox that might be there here. So if this is 1, let's say, then this will be a 2. So 1 and 2 will be taken care of here. 5 and 7 will happen here. Then it's going to be a problem. So think about this. If this is 1, right? If this is 1, box number 2 has 1. So this will have a 2. So this will be a 1, 2 pair, which means that this number will have to be 5. This number will have to be a 7. But then this cannot be 5, or this has to be a 5 or 7. So this cannot take any number. So this box has to be a 4. Now if box number 2 is 4, then box number 4 has to be 2, which basically means that this box cannot be a 2. And now we have more or less figured out another bit. So let's see what else can we do here. What all numbers are left here? We are left with 1, 5, 7 and 9. 2, 4, 6 and 8 are done, and 1, 5, 7, 9 are left. So there is only one number that can be present here, which is 1, because it has to be in the ratio of 1:2. Now we know that box number 6 has something, which basically means that 6 will be present somewhere. So one thing we'll do is we'll just remove this 1 from here. And we know that 6 has to be present somewhere. Now we can just see where all can 6 not be present in this particular bit. So let's see what can we do. This can't be 1, this can't be 2. What if this is 3? If box number 6 has 3, then box number 3 will have a 6, which is not possible because 6 is there in that row. What if this is a 4? If this box has a 4 in it, then this box will have a 6 in it, which is fine. I don't think that's going to be a problem. What if this box has a 5? Not possible, because 5 is already present here. What if this box is a 6? Again, not possible. What if this is a 7? If this box has a 7 in it, then this box will have to have a 6 in it. I don't think that's going to be a problem either, so that is fine. This box can't have an 8 or a 9, because 8 and 9 are already occupied by 1 and 2. So if this is an 8, this has to be a 6, which is not possible. If this is a 9, this has to be a 6, which is not possible. So this box either has a 4 or a 7 in it. Let's try to fill these two boxes as well. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 8. So 5, 7 and 9 are pending. So let's write 5, 7, 9 and remove the ones that we don't that are not possible. So 5 is not possible here. So we can have a 7 or a 9 that is present in this box. This box can have either a 4 or a 7. That's what we have. What about this one? Again, this one is not really filled till now. So as for us to be comfortable enough to put numbers. So let's not get into this at this point in time. Let's see if there is something else that is present in this particular puzzle. What else do we have here? If you look at the other part that we have in this particular context, we are going to see 1, 4 is here, 4, 7 is here, 4 can't be present in these two for sure, 4 can't be present here at all. What about 1? Using Sudoku logic, we'll be able to see something. Yeah, I can see something here. So 1 is present here, which means that 1 can't be present in these two boxes. We know that 1 can't be present here as well. We know that 1 can't be present here as well. We know that 1 has to be present in these two boxes. So either of these two boxes has to be a 1. This or this has to be a 1, which basically means that in this particular block, 1 can't be present here, 1 can't be present here, 1 cannot be present here, 1 cannot be present in any of these three, which means 1 has to be present here. So 1 has to be present here, and 5, 7, 5, 7 will be the pair. We could have also looked at 5, 7 and figured out that 1 has to be present here. But yes, 1 will be present in this particular block, which means that 1 cannot be present here. What else can we see in this particular context? So of course, these can't be 1 and 2. These could be 2 and 4, let's say. So what if these are 2 and 4? Possible. What if these are 3 and 6? Again, it's going to be possible. So again, not really the time to get into this yet. What else can we see? Let's see if we can see something else here as well. So I'm going to get the next part that I can maybe have a look at is this 4 and 7 bit. So 4 can have a 6, 7 can have a 6. So one of these two has to be a 6. Which is again fairly obvious, right? Because all other 6s have been filled except these. So, all right, 4 of these, yeah, 2 of these can be 6s, which is fine, not a problem, because these 2 can't be 6s, this can't be a 6, these 2 blocks, one of these 2 blocks has to be a 6, which basically tells us vertically also one of these 4 blocks has to be a 6. That is what we know. Something else that we can do here in this particular context. Let's see. What if this is a 7? If 6 has 7, 7 will have 6. All right. What if this is a 4? Because this 4 is intriguing because these two 4s are there. What if this is a 4? If box number 6 has 4, box number 4 has a 6. So 4 and 6 will occupy these two. If this is a 4, this becomes a 1, this becomes a 4 again. 4 is already present here, so that is again not a problem. Can I somehow figure out where a 4 can be? Alright, I think I see something. Let's see. So these 3 cannot be 4. These 2 cannot be 4. These 2 cannot be 4. So one of these has to be a 4. So either we are going to get a 2:4 or we are going to get a 4:8. So one of these two boxes definitely has to be a 4. Now whether that 4 goes with a 2 or with an 8, we don't really know, but let's see what we can get here. If this box is a 4, let's say, then this block has to be an 8, it can't be a 2 because 2 is present here, right? And what if this block is a 4? If this block is a 4, this one has to be either a 2 or an 8. We don't know which one it will be. So 2 and an 8 is what we have here. 4, 7, 8, 9, 3, all of them are there. But we know that 1 cannot be present. 1 has to be present in one of these two boxes. That is what we know, which is again fine, not a problem. Something else that we can do here. Let's see. What if we apply Sudoku logic? But we don't really have a lot of digits to do that. But let's see if we can do something. So 5, 7, 9 we have taken care of. This is 2, 4, 8. It kind of makes sense. 4 cannot be present anywhere else. That is what we know, which is again fine. 4 can't be present anywhere else, which is okay because all other rows, columns, everything has a 4 in it. So we know that either this will be a 4. If this is not a 4, then what will happen? Let's say this is a 7. So if box number 6 has 7, box number 7 will have a 6, which means this will be a 9. So 7, 9, 6 will be taken care of. 7, 9, 6 will be taken care of, which means this is a 5. So 5, 7, 9, 6 will happen here, which leaves me with a 3, 4 and an 8. Which leaves me with a 3, 4 and an 8. Which is again fine. I think 8 is again not going to be possible at many places. So 8 has to be one of these two. That is what we know. 6 has to be one of these two. What about 3 in this block? If you look at 3s that we have, either of these 4 has to be a 3, which is fine. There's already a 3 that is present here. Let's see what we can do. Am I missing out on something that I've already done? These blocks are done. These blocks are done. 7 we have taken care of. 8 as a 7, 7 as an 8. This box is fine. This box is fine. This box seems fine to me. So let's look at this part as well. What do we not have here? Okay, I can see an 8 here. It was an obvious part, I missed it. So these 3 can't be an 8. This can't be an 8 because 8 is present here. So this block has to be an 8 for sure, which basically tells me this is a 4, this is a 2, this is a 5, this is a 2. I think we should be able to get done with this very quickly now. So box number 6 has 7. Box number 7 will have a 6. This will have a 9. This will have a 5. This will have a 3. And 3 can't be present in these two. We also have a 7 here because 5 has taken place there. This will be a 5. And I cannot have a 5 in these two. I cannot have a 3 in these two. Right? So this is not possible. This is not going to be possible. What else can we do here in this particular case? We will have a 3, 8, I will have a 3, 6 and 9 that is going to be present. 9 cannot be present here, 6 cannot be present here. Yeah, so if 6 is not present here, this has to be a 3 or 9, which means this has to be a 6 for sure. What all things do we have here? 2, 5 and 7 is something that we don't know anything about. So 2 can't be here. This has to be either a 5 or a 7, and these two can be 2, 5 or 7. So okay, this can't be a 2 either because we already have a 2, right? So this has to be the 2 in this particular box. And 1, 3, 5, 7 I think are left. So 7 can't be present here. So 1, 3 or 5 will be present here, and 1 or 3 will be present here. So again, there are a couple of things that we can do. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 9. 7 can't be present here. 7 has to be in one of these two blocks. So 3, 5 and 9 are left. 5 can't be present here. 9 can't be present here. Okay, 5 can't be present here. 3, 5, 7, 9. So this has to be either a 3 or a 9. And what about this one? 3, 5, 7, 9. 7 is not possible. So it has to be a 3, 5 or a 9, or a 3 or a 5 rather. Yeah, 3, 5. So again, we have cyclicity 3, 5, 5, 7, 3, 9, 3, 7. So all those things we have, which basically means 9 has to be present here in this particular box. Yeah, 9 has to be present here. So that is what we'll get. 3, 5, 7. That is the cyclicity that we have. What else do we have? We have a 1 and we have a pair of, or we have a triplet of 1, 3 and 5 that's going to be present. So this has to be either a 1 or a 3 because 5 is already present at the top, and this has to be either a 1, 3 or a 5. So we don't really know this. This has to be 1, 3 or 4, but 1 is already there. So either 3 or 4 will happen here. Do we have any other clue that we have? We have 1, 2, 4, 6, 8. So we have 3, 5, 7 and 9. 3, 5, 7, 9 are left. So because this is a 9, 3, 5, 7 has to be somewhere here, and because this is 3, 5, 7, 9 has to be present somewhere here, right? Again, we don't really get a clear-cut answer. So let's see if we are getting something else here. Let's try to apply some Sudoku logic and see what happens. We have 1, 2, so 3, 4 and 8 are pending. 3 can't be here. So this is either a 4 or an 8. And what about this one? We can't do anything. This one also we can't do much. 8. So this is 3 or 4 that we have figured out. So 3, 4, 8 are pending. Again, we can't do much here. Something I might be missing, something very obvious that I might be missing out on. I have a 1, 6 and an 8 that is present. Yeah, 1, 6, 8 in this row. So 1, 6, 8, 1 and 6 are present here. This has to be an 8. 1 and 6 are present. 6 is here. So this has to be 1. This has to be a 6. I'm left with a 3 and a 4 here. So let me just write 3 and 4 here just for the sake of simplicity. and I can't really see much here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 are the ones that are left. 8 or 9 can't be present here. 7 has to be here. 9 has to be here. I think this should be the end of it. Hopefully this has to be an 8. This has to be a 9. This has to be a 3. This has to be a 1. This has to be a 9. This has to be a 5, 3, 7, and a 5 here. And we'll have a 3 here, we will have a 1 here, we'll have a 5 here, we'll have a 3 here, we'll have a 7 here, and the 3s at the corners generally give you these kind of animations, right? And I think we should be done with this entire thing, right? So 2640, it took longer than what I'd expected. I think if I were not commenting and I was doing it without voicing my thought process, might have been able to do it in under 18 or 19 minutes. That was my timing. Let me know in the comment section what was your timing. I know it's a slightly longer duration puzzle than what you are usually used to, but let me know in the comment section what did you think of this. If you like this kind of stuff, then I will try to do more such stuff for you. The idea is for you to get better at problem solving, right? This might not exactly be the question that you would expect in a test like the CAT, but these kind of puzzles help you understand the problem solving process and how to go from one step to the other while looking at the larger pictures. That is the idea of this puzzle. Do let me know in the comment section your thoughts on this particular thing, and I'll see you again in the next video.